Yung Pacific Shore ba, Sir John? Yung ba yung papuntang Kampuistuhan? Madadaanan ba
Hindi,
yun?
sa may highway yan, sa Talisay, between Talisay and Silay cities.
Ah, okay. So kung papuntang Kampuistuhan, hindi siya madaanan, sir?
Hindi.
Ah.
So nakikita nyo na? Ito
Yes, sir.
lang.
Very clear, sir. Very clear.
Hindi, nakikita nyo na yung PKSLS Pacific?
Yes, sir. Nasa screen na, sir.
Okay. So ito yung okay, so how many are we? How many yung present ngayon? May mga 30, 40?
Oh, we are 40.
So I'd like to ask dito if you can go na lang answer through the chat, no? So that they would know how many yung mga 0 to 1 years to 1 year, and then yung mga 1 to 2 years, 2 to 5 years, and then 5 to 10 years. Can you answer dun sa chat para I can see?
Guys, you can answer based on the selection provided with Sir John of how long have you been in the real estate business. Kung 0 to 1 year ba, 1 year to 2 years. Ayan, may corresponding letter A, B, C, D,
A, B, C, T, or E.
Yeah. So, ano lang dun sa sa chat box.
Ayan, so maraming bago.
Kasi 2 years pa ang company, sir, eh.
Hindi, pero sila ni Vicky naman mga matagal na 'yan, di ba? Matagal na sa real
sila,
estate.
sir. Kasi medyo galing sila sa ibang
So yung mga consultants mo, yan ang mga over 2 years. Okay. Sige. Now we'll go to ito yung this is the concept that we base our project on. So ito, pinapakita to sa inyo since marami sa inyo bago. Our lots kasi are costing 2 million and above. So that means the agents, the brokers should understand kung ano yung sa utak ng mga customers natin. What are they looking for? What have they seen? And where did they come from? So that you will be able to understand them. That means yung mga consultants natin sa grupo, yun ang mag-guide because it's not easy to have an icebreaker sa mga 2 million and above na prices na lote.
Mau na siya. Kasi like report. Kasi report sa report.
Wala may sounds. Wala kang process eh. Why sounds?
Wala di ko'y madunggan do. Sa mani eh. Nakadungog di ko gahapon. Aron wala. Ganun lagi ito gahapon.
Wala may sounds eh.
Ha? Disable the participant show on share.
Americans love sailing. There are beaches with amusement parks. Food and cafes. They love swimming, sunbathing, biking, and walking. And of course, living in front of the beach. but love this.
Hello. So, bali yung first portion pala ng
The great waterfront cities of the world. Water has always represented prosperity.
okay, so can we kanina yung first portion hindi wala pa lang audio. Anyway, in many parts of Europe like yung doon sa France, sa Switzerland, sa Sweden, sa mga Denmark, sa Norway, they are one of the countries na one of the best, no. Just last Sunday meron ako doon na panood, no, the 10 happiest places in the world, no. So included sa 10 happiest places in the world, you have Canada, you have Sweden, you have Norway, you have Denmark, Switzerland, maraming Northern Europe, and many of them, nakita nyo doon, you have Denmark and Sweden and Switzerland, no, in the videos earlier. And in Sweden and in Denmark and also in Norway, in Sweden and in Denmark, their royal families, they want to stay in the water, near the water, no? Maganda kasi yung near the sea and then near the water, because part of the royal processions before 200 years ago, kasama dyan sa river, no? Even sa Thailand and UK, they have that also. The royal processions are in the river. So that's why part ng access to the sea is through the river, through the lakes. So those are the prime properties, no, beside the water. That's why mahal siya. Anyway, can you go back again to the chat? Can you answer also kung sino yung from Negros, from Cebu, from Luzon, so that we would know, no, yung mga properties na inaay ninyo to sell? So can you go to the chat again and answer if you're from Negros, in Cebu, in Luzon, or in in Mindanao? Okay, so maraming Cebu, Luzon. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so in the last 5 months, ano yung mga sale na na-close nyo, no? The most expensive sale? 500,000 to 1 million, 1 million to 2 million, 2.5 to 5 million. And then what was it, no? Condo, house and lot, or lot only? Please, can you answer? Bali yan wala na tayong magawa ngayon eh. That's instead na diretso verbally, sa chat na lang tayo nag-uusap. Okay, so, may beach villa, 7 million. Okay. Anyway, bali yung Ananya Coast, the smallest lot that we have there now is 238 square meters. It's about 2.8 million something. In Pacific Shores, we have mayroon pa kami mga 2 million, no? So it's not easy to sell if you are not connected to the right market, no? So earlier you were being trained. No? Si Doc Jeffren was mentioning that you are training on Facebook, and indeed this is a very effective tool, no? So, but you have to know the interest of your customers, no? Malaki, most of our customers who have bought properties in Cebu and in Negros, they are over 50 years old. 70% of them are earning dollars or euros, so either from Europe or from the US. Some of them are seamen. So in Ananya Coast, we have maybe about 3 or 4 seamen. In Pacific Shores, maybe around that much also. In Pacific Shores, we have a lot of buyers who are from the US, maybe 70%, no? And some of them are also husband and wife Filipinos staying in the US. So now, on our part, we do a lot of Facebook sharing. So we have sharing every 5 days to 6 days a week. So we are sharing to groups, to consumer groups and to groups like you, no? So brokers and salespeople. Now, sa inyo, iba na naman yung how you approach directly your customer, no? Aside from posting in Facebook. So anyway, let's continue. Okay, we'll start with the Pacific Shores.
You don't have to take a vacation. You don't have to wait for retirement. Now you can live it. There's a new lifestyle brewing in the Pacific. A lifestyle of endless pleasure and holiday with resort amenities you can enjoy every day. Truly, a lifestyle fit for your success. Come home to Pacific Shores. Nestled in the heart of the Philippine archipelago, Pacific Shores is a 9.3-hectare waterfront community along the National Highway in Talisay City, province of Negros Occidental. Because of its central location, the province enjoys many intrinsic advantages, including calmer tropical weather year-round. But Pacific Shores is more than just great weather and more than just another subdivision. We've revolutionized subdivision living to offer you a totally different lifestyle. We've designed a waterfront community pampered with amenities of world-class subdivisions and resort perks you won't find even in many of these world-class subdivisions. Because we know there's more to life. Because we know you deserve more out of life. Pacific Shores truly gives you a different lifestyle. Sitting at the edge of this waterfront community is the crown jewel of the development, the 7,000 square meter Pacific Shores Clubhouse and Parks. Here's where we add style to your life, to give you leisure diversity, the clubhouse facility is divided into 5 theme parks. The fun begins with water sports in a specially designed 1.4-hectare lagoon. The Sea Haven Lagoon hosts a boat slipway and docking area from where residents can launch hours of water sports. Just off the lagoon is Hurricane Island, for those who like to be closer to the edge of the sea. A lighthouse completes the look of this idyllic setting, perfect for intimate moments with friends and loved ones. More quiet moments can be had at the meditation gardens. Tranquil spots allow folks to relax and enjoy leisurely activities like strolling or just reflecting on life's blessings. For those who fancy golf, there's no need to go far. Potting Green Park is a convenient facility to enjoy this hobby sport, even hone golfing skills. At the Sunset View Promenade, a Southern California-inspired clubhouse hosts indoor sports, including billiards and table tennis. There's also a function room for board and card games, even for ballroom dancing. Dotting the grounds are family cabanas, picnic umbrellas, and tents. A 150-square-meter infinity pool welcomes those who'd like to spend the day in the water. And by day's end, a romantic boardwalk offers vantage view to a 220-meter shoreline where breathtaking sunsets happen nightly. As a Pacific Shores lot owner, you own all of these amenities. You own this totally different lifestyle. And so, we've added even more amenities to keep it that way. Exclusive, secure, and yours to enjoy. Pacific Shores is a lifestyle planned community with a perimeter wall to ensure security. Loops and 7 cul-de-sacs create private sections within the community. Underground cable, telecommunications, and electrical distribution system maintains clutter-free surroundings. And of course, there's abundant water supply. Pacific Shores also offers you a wide selection of lot sizes. Closer to the highway, lots range from 150 to 300 square meters. If you prefer to be near the sea, lots extend from 200 to 500 square meters. And properties fronting the Pacific Shores Clubhouse and Parks range from 500 to 650 square meters. Wherever you build your home within Pacific Shores, strict building guidelines will retain the community's sense of exclusivity and privacy that only successful people like you deserve. Leaving the gates of Pacific Shores, you realize you're at the heart of it all. Just a 20-minute highway drive north is the new Bacolod Airport, a facility of international standards. 20 minutes southeast is the best golf course in the province. And to other nearby points from Pacific Shores, one discovers white sand islands and breathtaking mountain resorts. While we put a premium to privacy and serenity, Pacific Shores is conveniently close to cosmopolitan life as well. A quick 15-minute drive south brings you to the largest shopping mall in the area, located in Bacolod City, the capital of the province. In 2003, Bacolod City was recognized as the country's best mid-sized city, leading other communities nationwide in quality of life, infrastructure, and human resource and training. Bacolod City is also home to the world-famous Mascara Festival, an annual Mardi Gras celebration frequented by visitors from all parts of the globe. World-class subdivision amenities, world-class resort perks. These two come together in Pacific Shores to give you a different lifestyle. With a decade of experience in waterfront resort development and management, the people of LS Pacific Development Corporation, in collaboration with the property owner, Lure Mill Realty Development Corporation, have put together a design team made up of seasoned professionals with proven track records in delivering lifestyle amenities to a discriminating market. Together, today they stand proud to deliver Pacific Shores, more than just a subdivision, a different lifestyle.
Okay, this one is yung kasunod is Ananya Coast naman in Cebu.
Take a look at Cebu now and discover the difference. Ananya Coast, the newest beach club residence in Metro Cebu, right at the heart of sunny Philippines. Ananya Coast is a 3.2-hectare residential and resort complex in Lilo, Cebu. The beachfront property inspires an active lifestyle for the young who thrill to life's excitement. For growing families who value peace and security for their children. And for those who just want to take things easy. Liloan is conveniently linked to Cebu City by two thoroughfares, the National Highway and the new Cebu North Coastal Road. This has made getting to Liloan faster than ever. Discover the difference of Ananya Coast, living close to Cebu City, yet offering the privacy of life in the suburb. Out to the 3.2 hectares of Ananya Coast, 2.7 hectares will be devoted to residential development. We further ensure exclusivity by limiting the number of lots to less than 100, ranging from an impressive 185 square meter property to an expansive 695 square meter estate. In these sprawling spaces, imagine yourself watching the sunrise from your balcony, the gentle breeze whispering, the gentle waves lilting. All these, plus the amenities of a respectable address. Discover the difference of Ananya Coast. Residents will delight to a waterfront promenade designed with leisurely walk paths. Far from the noise of the city, here you can relax, meditate, read books with your kids, or share intimate moments with those you love. Picnics will be quick and easy with a snack bar to serve refreshments. And the sea is yours to cherish. Discover the difference of Ananya Coast. It is more than just a charming beach club residence address. A resort is also being planned by Palafox Associates, the country's leading resort planning company. And it will include luxurious and meaningful amenities.
May mga questions kayo so far. We can go now to the orientation, and then from there we'll have many of the questions before we go to information on tsunami and storm surge. So we'll go through the orientation.
Okay,
that's the highlights. We provided you with the highlights of the restrictions, yung mga height limitation, yung easements. We emailed them this morning. I hope many of them were able to get them. So we have 3 meters of easement in front and 3 meters at the back, and then we have also 2 meters at the sides. So if you can see, mahangin yung atmosphere. You have the breezy because of the easements, no? We allow a breeze to flow through the houses. And then we also have 9 meters of height limitation counted from the sidewalk, so that the garden of the neighbors will have ample sunlight. Okay, and we have the fence restrictions also. We have 1.8 meters counted from the sidewalk to the top, but the first 2 feet, that's the only one that is that you can use after blocks. The rest should be wrought iron or grills. So the rest also, and the same also is for the gate. It's only the lower portion, the first 2 feet, that you can use solid panels, but the upper portion between between 24 inches up to the 72 inches, it should be wrought iron or grills. Now, what's the reason behind this, no? Now, this idea, it actually started from our homeowners in Palmas del Mar, no? Our buyers, because 75% of them have families abroad, they have either their children, they have their sisters, some of their brothers are abroad, their friends. They stay only in the subdivision for 5 to 7 months. So they go abroad. They go back to the States. We have a homeowner also who goes back to Germany 6 months every year to collect his rent so that he has money when he goes back to the Philippines. So they leave their houses. Now, kung nasa downtown ka, this type of fence is not secure because people will see if you're there, people will see if you're not there, people will see your face, and if they see that you are rich, then you're in danger. No? But in the subdivisions, this is actually a better solution. The foreigners, the people who go abroad to visit their children, to visit their friends, they leave their houses, but they will just tell the guards, "Oh, Mr. Guard, please watch over our house." So the guard can see actually the interior, the living room from the sidewalk. So if there are intruders inside, they can be seen from the street. The second reason why this is very beneficial for our kind of clientele is since many of them are retirees, part of the therapy of people who have adult children already is they need to take care of something or somebody. So either they take care of their spouse or they take care of the garden or take care of pet. If you can see many of the movies in the US, many of them who are single, they have a plant or a cat or a dog at home. So that is part of the therapy, is putting attention away from yourself and then taking care of somebody else. So it makes you more sane. Now, the third reason is also for airflow to go through the fence. For the second reason, I'll expand on that. So if you're taking care of your plants in the front garden, you have better interaction also with your neighbors who are jogging, who are walking, who are biking. You can say, hey, hi, hello, and your faces will be familiar with each other. Your cars can also be recognized, like if there's a Mr. Santos who has a blue Corolla. That means from Ananya Coast going to SM, if you have a flat tire, they will recognize the blue Corolla and then they will help the neighbor. So that's part of the rapport. And the third, of course, is the air. So let's continue. So sometimes we have very strict regulations, but there are reasons for it. So it's best that you would learn how to ask questions so that you would know how come such guidelines were set up. So our fence is 1.8 meters only. For the sides shared with the neighbor, and at the back it is you can use hollow blocks. You can use hollow blocks for that. So it's 1.8 meters. Now that's enough to cover the clothesline at your neighbor's house. Okay, for the cost of the house, we have a different price limitation for Pacific Shores. It is 150% of the price of the house, of the lot. In Ananya Coast, it's 1.75. So you have to look at the printed highlights that we emailed so that you can be sure of the restrictions. Now, in Ananya Coast, the 1.75% of a 2 million lot, that's 3.5 million, that is just around 100 square meters. So in Ananya Coast, the minimum house size should be 100 square meters. In Pacific Shores, I think it's 75 square meters. So you can have all ground floor, but it should not be less than 100 square meters in Ananya Coast. Now we also have the construction bond in Ananya Coast. It's 400 pesos per square meter. So for a 200 square meter lot, that's 80,000 pesos. In Pacific Shores, it's 300 pesos per square meter, no? So or 60,000. Now, what is the bond for? So when a lot owner has a construction or a main house, he has to pay the bond. Now, if the contractor destroys the sidewalk or destroys something in the subdivision, then if the contractor will not pay for the repair, then we will deduct it from the construction bond. The construction bond will also, in some ways, pressure the homeowner to follow the plan that was approved for them, which they presented, because if not, the bond will not be returned until they correct the wrong structure that they constructed. And then if they have renovations, the bond is only 300 pesos per square meter. And then we also have the construction fee. This is non-refundable. So in Ananya Coast, it's 5,000. In Pacific Shores, it's 4,000 pesos. In the long run, this should be used by the association to pay for the architect or engineer who will approve the plan, who will check the height of the house during construction, and then also the final structure, the plumbing, and the easements. Now in Ananya Coast, we have a theme, no? So for blocks 1, 2, and lots 1 to 11, block 3, it will be a Filipino style, Filipino Asian contemporary. This is the type of house that they have in Amara, no? That's the Ayala project. The roof, the color of the roof that is allowed is only brown and red, no? In Amara. In our case, we have brown, red, and beige, or somewhere in between. For the other blocks, in blocks 4, 5, and 6, the houses can be Mediterranean, it can be Italian, it can be American colonial, or French provincial. But in lots 1, block 2, in blocks 1 and 2, and then lots 1 to 11 in block 3, it has to be Filipino Asian. We also have a three-chambered septic tank with 8 cubic meters of minimum detention time, area volume, and then minimum detention time of 36 hours. Now, we do not allow overnight parking in the subdivision roads, both in Pacific Shores and in Ananya Coast. The reason being is this will save on security. If there are parked cars along the road, intruders can hide in them, and then the security guards will never see them. So our planning is way ahead of the regular subdivision. In Cebu and in Lapu-Lapu, in Mactan Island, you have many projects with house and lot being sold without parking lot, and then the roads are full of the cars owned by the homeowners, and then the roads are also very small, so they are having problems now. Now the in when you have a house construction now, you have to have one car garage if you have a car, and you have to have enough garage space for your cars, no? So advance yung planning namin, no, to because we already foresaw the need for buyers, even though they don't need a garage for now, they will need it later on, or they will need it when they sell the house. We had a British national who constructed a house in Pacific Shores. During the time of the construction in the phase 1, they didn't have a garage. I said, even though you don't need a garage, you don't have to have a garage, but you have to allocate a space. He said he didn't need the car, but after 6 months, he bought a car. So, and now he has sold the house. The new owner uses the garage. So it's very important to plan for those times. Ayan, so that kind of house is like Filipino Asian with the brown roof, with stone cladding in some portions of the house. You have the very airy, very wide road. Okay, so for the maintenance of the subdivision, in Pacific Shores, we are charging 35 pesos per square meter if the lot doesn't have a house. If it has a house, it's 45 pesos per square meter. So kung 200 square meters, that's around 9,000 pesos per year. In Ananya Coast, we would be expecting it to be more because there are fewer lots, maybe at 55 to 65 pesos per square meter, so around 13,000 pesos per year. Maybe starting next year. Now, these are the facilities that has been completed so far. No? So we have the swimming pool in 2016. We have the gym. We have other table games. We have the billboard, the board games. So we offer membership access to all lot owners. This is optional membership of 4,000 pesos per year. No? So nakaseparate yung maintenance of the swimming pool from the homeowners association. Maintenance of the swimming pool is very expensive, and it will come out like more than 500,000 a year. So if you have only like 60 lots, that's almost 10,000 pesos per year per lot. So we made it optional because many of our lot buyers are still abroad. They have their own houses yet. So they will not be needing the swimming pool. So the resort complex in Ananya Coast is not part of the community facilities, no. So that's why it's not the association that maintains it. In Pacific Shores, it is owned by the it is under the responsibility of the homeowners association. So those are the two items. Those are some of the items that are different, no? The control of the swimming pool and clubhouse in Pacific Shores is different compared to Ananya Coast. So you have to check the documents that we have emailed to you so that you will not get confused. So in Ananya Coast, we'll be having the water sports rental shop. So these items will not be free. You have to pay rent to use them, no? So the kayak, the jet ski, banana boat, the snorkel, and diving equipment. Okay, so before you go out and sell our properties, you have to familiarize with our restrictions and implementing guidelines. Now, because they're quite sizable, we have provided you with the highlights. No, that's 11 points that you have to remember when you do the site visits. We will explain to the buyer when they sign the contract, but when you go for site visit, you have to tell them, update them with the highlights of the restrictions. Now, another difference between Pacific Shores and Ananya Coast is the down payment. So in Pacific Shores, it's limited to 10% down at 18% interest. So you have the option of paying either outright cash in Pacific Shores or 5 years to pay. In Ananya Coast, our contracts are mostly 20% down with 15% interest. We also have 24 months to pay interest-free, no? After paying the 20% down. So with the price list that we emailed to you, you can see it there. How much is that 20% down? How much will be the VAT, and then also the installments. Okay, the present requirements of the government is that you have to have, of course, on top of the group, you have a licensed broker. And then below the licensed broker, you have people with salesman's license. Now, I know that many of the people who applied for salesman's license have not received their license, no, their actual license. Baka naka-renew na ng 2 times or 3 times. The first license siguro mga 2012 or 2013. So dapat naka-renew na ng 2 times yung mga first people with the salesman's license under PRC. Now, the people who do not have the salesman's license or who have not applied cannot officially sign the contract as a witness, and also they cannot sign in ballpen also for our reservations and for our buyer's appointment slip. So in the reservation, you have 3 signatures actually from the agency. if you do not have a salesman's license or you haven't applied in the with the salesman's license, you cannot sign in the reservation sheet in ball pen. So you can sign in pencil so that we can erase in case somebody claims your sale. No? If another agency claimed the sale, then we have to make it legal. We have to erase the names who are not legal. So the commission will still remain with your upline and with the agency, and they will just give it to you without having to put your name in ball pen. We just need the names of the agent so that when we need to coordinate, we would know who to contact to coordinate for the buyer to visit already the office. So before you go out to have the site visit, you have to call the office to get an update. No? So in Cebu, we have it at J Center Mall in AS Fortuna, Mandaue, and then in Bacolod City, we have it in Lizares Avenue. Okay, so the first installment is 1 month after the last payment of the down. In Cebu, we allow 2 months, 3 months, 4 months to pay, or 6 months or 12 months to pay for the installment. For the down payment, I mean. So the 20% can be divided into 12 or 6 or 3. No? So we give discounts for 2 months to pay or 1 month to pay or 6 months to pay. For the 12 months to pay, we don't have discount for the down payment. In Cebu, we have installments for the 80% of up to 10 years, but we discourage this. Pwede up to 7 years lang. No? And then in Pacific Shores, we only have installments for up to 5 years. So when you do a scheduling for site visit in Cebu, please call 2 to 3 days before so that we can coordinate and put the proper schedule. And then if you have to cancel, you have to call within 3 hours before. Okay, so before we go through you might have questions. You can maybe go to the chat if you have questions. Before we go to tsunami and storm surge.
You can type your questions, guys, in the chat box so that Sir John can read it along the way, and he might be able to throw the answer along the way as well.
If you cannot remember your questions now, you can always go through your chat in Facebook. We can still answer them.
Yeah, Sir John is there also. For those, the one that had been presented by Sir John, the guidelines, it was emailed. Now, if we wanted to give you a copy, all of you, so you just drop your email address in the chat room so that we can send the file to you. It is very important because you need to inform or orient the buyer of what are the needed restrictions sa subdivision. It is relevant because sometimes the challenges during reservation will always come during this within these restrictions. So, and sometimes there are misconception if not been thoroughly shared, no, or informed by the buyers.
We have emailed around 3 people in Cebu and about 5 people in Bacolod, and we also sent around through Messenger about 8 people through Messenger naman, no? So anyway, we will just okay, yung email nyo, I may not be able to save this. Maybe your office can just, yung office na lang yung magpapadala ng email.
Yes, Sir John. We will take charge of it na lang. As soon as we are going to, we're going to get their emails. We will be the one to send na lang, Sir John. No worries.
Okay. Now, yung ang maganda sa grupo nyo is with your consultants, they're very familiar with our project, no? So you can ask in detail first your consultants, like si Vicky, she knows so many things about Ananya Coast and Pacific Shores also. So you can ask her and some of your other consultants. Now, if they cannot answer, then they can ask us, no? So the more you ask your consultants, the more they are forced to know.
I agree.
So the next time they will be asked by another person with the same question, they already know the answer. So that's the good point of having consultants, especially for specific projects, because they'll be able to answer you also in detail. Okay, so we'll go now to one of the main objections for people with regards to waterfront properties. That's storm surge and tsunami. Okay. Okay, can you answer? You can go again to your chat box. You answer what's the difference between tsunami and storm surge. Can I get at least maybe just for the first 3 or 4 answers? What's the difference? Actually, the difference will lie on how they were caused. Both of them are water related. The deaths are water related, but how the main difference is how they were caused. Marami dyan mga taga Cebu at mga taga Negros. You have experienced
Yolanda.
dati sa Cebu sa Jones, akala nila may tsunami sa Jones eh. Okay, so anyway, we'll just go straight. So the difference between a tsunami and a storm surge is that a tsunami is caused by an earthquake, while a storm surge is caused by a typhoon. Okay? So what can we do so that we will not be affected by the big waves of the tsunami or of the storm surge? We'll listen to this first video, which is about tsunami.
Tsunami, from the Merriam-Webster dictionary, means a very high, large wave in the ocean that is usually caused by an earthquake under the sea and that can cause great destruction when it reaches land. 2 important items to be remembered regarding a tsunami: earthquake and under the sea. In February 2012, there was an earthquake. There was an alarm that was brought up that there was a tsunami in Jones, Cebu. True, there was an earthquake, but the earthquake was on land. The center of the earthquake was in Negros Oriental, somewhere in Gihulngan and La Libertad. So Cebu cannot be hit by a tsunami. In October 2013, another earthquake was experienced in Cebu. Again, there was no tsunami in Cebu because the earthquake was in Bohol, which is on dry ground. In December 26, 2004, there was a 9.1 to 9.3 magnitude earthquake near Aceh, Indonesia. This tsunami was sometimes called the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami. Around 110,000 died in Indonesia because of the tsunami. The waters reached up to 5 kilometers inland. According to Wikipedia, a total of 230,000 died or were missing because of the tsunami, including those in Thailand, Sri Lanka, Maldives, parts of India, and some parts of Africa, specifically Madagascar, South Africa, and Somalia. This was a very strong earthquake. Since 1900, there were only two other earthquakes which were stronger. One was in 1960, which was the Great Chilean Earthquake with 9.5 magnitude. And in 1964, the Good Friday Earthquake in Prince Edward Sound in Alaska with 9.2 magnitude. It should be noted that not every earthquake produces large tsunami. On March 28, 2005, a magnitude 8.7 earthquake hit roughly the same area of the Indian Ocean but did not result in a major tsunami. The first warning sign of a possible tsunami is the earthquake itself. Preceding a tsunami strike, the sea often recedes temporarily from the coast. In some cases, there are no warning signs at all. In Phuket, a number of people were saved because some foreigners were familiar with the signs. In Andaman Islands, the Aboriginal population suffered fewer casualties because of their knowledge of their history and oral traditions. The 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami occurred 6 months before we started selling in Pacific Shores, our second waterfront project. Some were worried that we might not be able to sell our lots. I assured our directors that Pacific Shores was safe. The Ayala District Mall in Talisay, together with 3 subdivisions of the Ayalas, were less than 800 meters from the sea. Ayala did their research and we also did our research. So where can underwater earthquake be expected? We can generally expect an underwater earthquake in an underwater trench. Where are these underwater trenches located in the Philippines? In the east, we have the Philippine Trench and the East Luzon Trench. In the south, we have the Cotabato Trench. In the southwest, we have the Sulu Trench, and which becomes the Negros Trench as it approaches Negros Island. In the northwest, we have the Manila Trench. So an earthquake in the Negros Trench may cause waves to go towards southern Negros, especially Sipalay, Kawayan, Ilog, and Binalbagan. However, Bacolod and Talisay, where Ayala and Pacific Shores are located, are protected by Guimaras Island. The wave will be stopped by the island. In the same way, an earthquake in the Philippine Trench will hit Samar, Leyte, and northeast Mindanao. However, Cebu will be protected. According to the National Hurricane Center of the U.S., storm surge is an abnormal rise of water generated by a storm over and above the predicted astronomical tide. What are the many factors that influence storm surge? Storm intensity. Stronger winds will produce higher surge. Typhoon Yolanda reached center winds of over 300 kilometers per hour. In the last 67 years, that's 1947 and onwards, there were only 2 typhoons that exceeded 300 kilometers per hour. Typhoon Yolanda and Typhoon Reming. According to CNN, Typhoon Yolanda was the strongest typhoon to reach landfall. So this occurrence is very, very rare. Forward speed. On the open coast, a faster storm will produce a higher surge. The regular strong typhoon would be in the Philippines area of jurisdiction for 5 to 6 days. This was because the regular typhoon would be traveling around 18 kilometers per hour. With the regular typhoon, the day before the typhoon lands, we have almost 1 whole day of rain. The day after the typhoon, you still have 1 whole day of rain. Typhoon Yolanda was traveling at 36 to 38 kilometers per hour. During Typhoon Yolanda, the typhoon was traveling at double the regular speed. We had a sunny day the day before Yolanda arrived and another sunny day the day after the typhoon. Again, this occurrence is very rare. However, a higher surge is produced in bays, sounds, and other enclosed bodies of water with a slower storm. Angle of approach. The angle at which a storm approaches a coastline can affect how surge is generated. A storm that moves onshore perpendicular to the coast is more likely to produce a higher storm surge than a storm that moves parallel to the coast. Winds that usually affect us either are coming from the north or the south. However, the winds that are coming from the south are usually stronger, from experience, than waves coming from north or northeast, which are relatively weaker. Shape of the coastline. Storm surge will be higher when a hurricane makes landfall on a concave coastline that is curved inward, such as Apalachee Bay in Florida. Please note the word bay in Apalachee Bay. Should we then be alarmed by the disaster in Leyte? No. Reason number 1, the storm surge in Leyte was not the first. In October 12, 1897, Tacloban, Basay, and Tanawan were hit by a storm surge. There were 1,300 to 1,500 persons who perished.
So you can see that the storm surge in Leyte was the first. No? So 1897, there were already 1,300 who perished, no, or were missing. And the population of the Philippines during the time maybe was just less than 30 million. Now, it is because the location itself is really susceptible to storm surge.
Hit by a storm surge. There were 1,300 to 1,500 persons who perished. Storm surge tend to occur in the same place. Reason 2. Waters around Ananya Coast and the surrounding areas are not part of a bay. In September 26 to 28, 2011, Metro Manila was hit by Typhoon Pedring. The Mall of Asia was closed for 3 days because seawater went in. The restaurant, which was just renovated by Sofitel, was ruined. The area where you are interviewed for a US visa and where you claim your passport with a visa was ruined because water entered the US Embassy. Now, you see a taller building and you can claim your visa at the second floor. The old building was demolished. The breakwater at the Rojas Boulevard was destroyed and water went in. People didn't notice or remembered it because nobody died in Manila City. However, it was one of the few recorded storm surges before Typhoon Yolanda. Do you know what is common between Manila and Tacloban? Both of them face a bay. Manila faces the Manila Bay. It was not reported in the newspapers in the weeks after Typhoon Yolanda. Tacloban faces San Pedro Bay. If you look at the map, the area between Samar and Leyte forms a bay. Like the storm surge of 1897, many people died in Tacloban, Basay, and Tanawan. So even though the Bay Area may be protected from the wind, the waves from the deep Pacific Ocean or China Sea enters the bay. The big waves are funneled in and even cause bigger destruction. No matter how it enters, the water will bounce around. Reason 3, there will be warnings from the national agencies. ABS-CBN posted in their weather center at 9:52 p.m. November 7, 2013, the night before, that the storm surge will be expected in various parts of the country because of the strong typhoon. The warning included Tacloban with San Pedro Bay, Ormoc with Ormoc Bay, Gamay Bay in Samar, Ginayangan Rapay Gulf, and Lamon Bay. So you could see the areas with bays had been listed by Project NOAA. Reason 4, there is local awareness, even from our local agencies. Regional DNR issued a press release last November 29, 2013. DNR said that people should plant mangroves to fight typhoons and storm surge. They have identified the 5 areas in Cebu that have to be planted with mangroves. That's Cordova, Manganilla, San Fernando, Talisay, and Naga. Diamedo said Barangay Tangke in Talisay and several coastal barangays in Manganilla are storm surge prone areas. Reason 5, disaster preparedness. So even though we do not expect storm surge or tsunami to hit Liloan, we should be prepared. We got the services of architect Palafox to increase our disaster preparedness. He said that when the floodwaters entered Cagayan de Oro, the building he designed saved 700 lives. Because of his consciousness of disasters, he elevated the ground floor of the condominium that he designed. We gave in to his requirement. For starters, we have elevated our beachfront promenade by 2 meters and our pool by 3 meters. So
in the original plan before Palafox came in, our plan was just a regular fence around the between the park and the beach. But when architect Palafox joined us in the planning, he said that we have to elevate the garden so that the people in the park will be able to see the sea and the sand and the beach. And at the same time, we have protection from the storm surge, and we also have protection for security. So people cannot just climb the fence while people inside can see the view. And you can also see in the pictures later on that even for the swimming pool, you will have a great view while you're swimming, but you are still protected with the fence.
from the outside, the wall of the beachfront promenade is 2.4 meters above the natural sand.
Ayan, you can
It was-
see that the swimming pool was elevated by 3 meters. So at the left, you have the beach, and then you have the fence. So you can still, your view from the swimming pool will not be blocked, no, by the fence.
It was part of its regular strategy of disaster preparedness. To summarize, Ananya Coast is safe from tsunami because an earthquake in the Philippine Trench can cause a tsunami, but the waves will go to Leyte, Samar, and northern Mindanao. Cebu will be protected. Ananya Coast will be protected from storm surges. There has been no storm surges in the area. The water facing Ananya Coast is not a bay. We shall be given ample warning from the national agencies if there will be a storm surge coming. The local or regional agencies have not issued any negative warnings on the areas around Ananya Coast, and we shall increase our disaster preparedness.
So that's it. You have questions?
Do you have question, guys? No, this information, no, is very important since two of our projects are in the shore, in the coastal lines. So it can help you better explain the clients in terms of the worries that they may probably have, no, some misimpressions ba, na it could be dangerous to live in both Pacific Shore and Ananya Coast. So with such information like this one, it will ease their mind. No, it will ease their mind, and it will give them the confidence na it is disaster ready. No, the subdivision is disaster ready, meaning it has been foreseen by surgeon ahead of time that though there are no cases of tsunami on the area or storm surge, it's better to be ready. No, it's better to be safe than sorry, kumbaga. So there's a how else can we persuade foreigners to come and stay at the Philippines? Ah, we don't persuade them, Brent. they just love it here. For foreigners, it could be for their retirement, no? It's a lot of Philippines right now is a retirement hub, no? And projects like this, especially if they're married to Filipinas, so they will be looking Philippines as an option for retirement. So, and most of them to get rid of the busy life in the city where they came from, you know, either in the U.S. or in Europe, in order to get rid of those, so they're gonna choose a community that will give them the relaxation that they need, no? So like this one, so the ambience, the scenario, and also not far from the city as well, so they can just go into their basic necessities, no? So hey, do you have any questions?
As what Doc said earlier, you have to be confident when you talk to your customers, especially since many of you are less than 1 year old in real estate. Now, when you talk about tsunami, and when you talk about storm surges, and you talk about the properties, the customer will know if you are not sure by the way you answer and by the way you sound. So if you're not confident, how can they be confident in the project? So before you see the customer, you have to make yourself confident with all your answers. And as much as possible, you cannot say you do not know. Maybe you can say you will ask, but you cannot answer you do not know. But better is if you know the answer.
Sir John, can we ask a copy of this video, Sir John?
Can you send me a Globe email address? I will give you the entire thing. You can watch it over and over again.
Okay.
I'll send it through Globe Slides.
Because this is very important since the project is in the shoreline, and usually questions like this usually is raised up, no, by clients, uh, especially that we do have history of storm surge, although not in Cebu or not in Talisay, but in Tacloban, but it's fresh in the mind of the people, no. So do you have any other questions, no, with regards to the project? The site is so beautiful, no. I was able to peep into Ananya Coast. It's so beautiful. It's very homey. It's very nice. No, it's a vacation. It's a vacation destination. No, it's like going on a vacation actually. So it's very nice. It's very nice. So for those people na wanted to have their retirement home, especially if they are foreigners wanted to settle for retirement in the country, Ananya is a good and homey suggestions for them, no. So yan, sabi ni Novili, no, Alcover, I love Ananya Coast. She was able to go there also, no, with Darrell, no, with Darrell. Darrell made a sale here. So this is a very beautiful project in Liloan, no. Sa Talisay, di pa ako nakaano, Sir John, di pa ako nakapasok. Babalang araw makapuntahan ko yan.
Thank you.
So, dito sa Liloan, very nice, no. I believe they have the same craftsmanship. So what you see in Liloan, that's what also you're going to get in Pacific Shore. So same ano lang yan, same craftsmanship, same same concept eh. So any more questions that you wanted to chat? I believe Novelin already sent you the files through your emails, and kindly review it, no. You don't just get to review it during the time that there is a client. You review it today so that when there are inquiries, it will be easy for you to share and to relay the restrictions. I would suggest browse on it thoroughly. We have a lot of trippings already na hindi po natuloy ang reservation because of those restrictions. So it is better off that you are really familiar. Kasi minsan kasi okay naman, wala naman problema na magmamadali, rush things up, pero it is way better na mas scrutinize mo talaga yung client at may present mo yung yung restrictions or what are the guidelines ng development prior to really going out there. Kasi magsasayang lang din yung oras, both you and the developer as well, no? Kasi mag-schedule kayo ng tripping schedule and time is very important. So browse through it, no? Browse through it kasi those are very relevant information. And if you have some questions, balik lang sa group chat kasi there are people that can facilitate there in answering those questions. So if there are agents right now na hindi pa kasali doon sa group chat, both for Pacific Shores and Ananya Coast, I think mag-separate yan Pacific Shores and Ananya Coast. Kindly, no, facilitate, add them there para they will be updated. Question there, is it possible to visit Ananya so that it's easy to convince? It is possible, but right now I don't know because we are on quarantine, no? I think Sir John, ngayon Sir John, no, we don't have trippings. We canceled it everything, no, for the meantime.
Hindi ba Cebu City na yung ECQ?
Yes, Cebu City, Sir John, ang ECQ. The rest are actually GCQ, but
Also pwede.
I think pwede lang with proper permit siguro. Kasi you're gonna cross from one city that's from Bandawi to Liloan
So wala na yung like our people in the office, they live in Lapu-Lapu, but they go to Mandawi to the office, so wala namang problema.
Oh, kasi may ano
Ah.
sila, Sir John. I think nag-issue kayo ng certification din for them to really for them to be certified that they are working in J Center so that they can cross. So, for those agents that wanted to cross and you are able to make some arrangement with Ananya, and if should you need some certification, let us know so that we can issue you some certification so that you can cross borders. So that you can cross borders. So I think yun lang siguro ang ano kasi I've issued quite a number of certification already for agents who crosses from one town to the next and they pass by the borders. So ito dalawang border to eh. Border ng Mandawi at Konsolasyon at border ng Konsolasyon ng Liloan. So dalawang border ang dadaanan yan bago makarating sa Ananya. No? So ngayon dito, Sir John, we are in other towns are in GCQ but on a tighter regulations because of the increase in cases. Kahit naka GCQ pero medyo tight ang regulation. Yan, travel pass, no? Travel pass po ang hahanapin kasi hinihigpitan na ni Governor Gwen. Yes, travel pass. Yan. So the travel pass actually will be, you can avail that from from the city hall, actually. From the city hall or from the city government. So in case of Mandawi, sa city government ng Mandawi. In case of Taga-Lapu-Lapu, from doon sa Lapu-Lapu city government. So, medical certificate din, Joe, kailangan? So yun, no? But it's gonna be a little bit strict right now. So, okay, no? Bear with the situation lang because kasi bagong inimplement to eh. Right after the president is angry with with what happened in Cebu. So it's gonna be stricter rules and regulation in crossing from one border to the next. Okay? So, yung pagbisita siguro for the meantime, pag hindi pa pwede, wag lang munang ipilit, ha? Wag lang munang ipilit. Let's make use of the videos that are being shared by Sir John here, no? Medical certificate is one of the requirements to avail travel pass. Ayan. So, it's gonna be a little bit tight. So, siguro it's better safe for the meantime. Videos lang muna para initial information to be thrown to the buyers. Now this is how it would look like inside the subdivision and anyway, pwede naman pwede niyo naman makita sa Google Earth yung distance ng Liloan from where you are, no? Even Joby from Toledo to Balamban. Ganun din, no? Because I think they just announced it I think last night or the other night, no? So that's it, no? So Sir John, thank you very much for your time, Sir John. And we're joined by quite a number of sellers we have. We are actually around 56 in the meeting room, no? So if there are still new agents we have, Sir John, we are just going to contact you so that we can do another shot of project reviews para sa mga new agents din, both for Cebu and Bacolod because they have a growing number there also. Sir John, may tanong dito. Incentives daw, Sir John. Ano daw yung incentives?
Bali sa Cebu, may incentives tayo varying from 10,000 to 20,000 depending on the price of the lot.
Okay.
You can just call na lang the office to get kung ano yung mga cut-off ng before yung 10,000 na maging 15 tapos yung 15 na maging
20. Okay.
20.
May promo
Pero
ba ang buyers,
bigger,
Sir John? May question sila dito. May promo ba ang mga buyers ngayon? Wala tayong mga promos?
Wala as of now. Yung promo is bumili na sila bago tumaas.
Okay.
Last year kasi we increased the price 2 times.
2 times.
In the latter part of the year.
Wait
Diyan
lang.
sa ano Sir John, yung incentive sa Bacolod Sir John, ganun din, 10 to 20,000.
Wala incentive sa Bacolod.
Walang
We
incentive sa
only have
Bacolod.
we only have 7 lots left in Bacolod.
Okay. But after that, Sir John, I think there's still more projects coming in the area.
Hopefully by next year.
Within Bacolod as well, or within.
Pero baka hindi waterfront.
Okay, okay. So let us know, Sir John, if you are already definite with the projects na, with kung may mga details na para
Okay.
makarangkada rin yung mga agents natin.
Yes. So thank you for giving time also for me to talk to your people.
Sige, maraming salamat Sir John, no? And ingat ka diyan, sir, no? Sana makauwi ka ng Cebu.
Thank you, Doc.
Okay, guys, no?
Thank you.
We're done, no? And those emails are already been sent to you. Kindly check on your emails. Novelin have sent it to your emails already. And should you need more information, just go to the chat room. Then we will see each other there. Total, nandun naman si Vicky, nandun si Sir John. Okay? Thank you guys. Stay safe. Stay home. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
God bless. Bye-bye.